In this video, I'm going to take a podcast that sounds like this
My name is Kwiecien, spelled Kwicien,
and make it sound like this.
My name is Kwiecien, spelled Kwicien.
Hello, I am Kwiecien, and welcome to Podcasting with Connor. In this channel, I make videos for people who are looking to start a podcast and show you how to add value to your podcast by enhancing your sound quality. If you like what I do or just want to support me, please hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, like this video, and with that, let's get started. So what I'm going to pull up here in just a second is the fourth podcast I ever made. The backstory before that is, in college, I started Good News, a podcast with Matt Gady. And shortly after we started, I went to study abroad in London. But we tried to record an episode with Matt in Eugene, Oregon, and me in London, England. And there was a lot of background noise, to say the least, because I did not have this nice microphone or a mixer with me. What I did to record my podcast was attach a Rode Mini shotgun mic to my camera and record my end, and then Matt recorded his, and then we stitched it together. I mean, that's not the worst thing that you can do. I mean, I had pulled a comforter over my head, which is a good way to help dampen room noise, but still, it didn't do everything it needed to. And the big issue was I didn't have the know-how in Adobe Audition yet to really reduce the background noise in a professional manner. But now I do, and I'm going to show you how to do that and take something that sounds like this
We were figuring out life's logistics
and make it sound so much better in not a lot of time. If you have a podcast and you notice there's a lot of background or room noise and you want me to demonstrate how I would clean it on this channel in a video, please connect with me on social media. You can find my social media in the comments, the description below. One more thing to note before I put on the headphones and pull up the multi-track. I am a podcast editor. That is what I do for work. So if you want to hire someone to help you with editing your podcast and bring it to the next level, connect with me on social media or through my website. Other than that, let's get going. All right, so the big issue here, as I mentioned, is the background noise. There are a lot of other smaller issues, such as editing, pacing, mouth noises, all of that stuff that I would tackle. But really, what we're going to focus on is the quick hitters, which is the background noise. As you notice, probably there's a lot of static in that background noise. And if you look at the tracks, then you'll see that I have my track separated from Matt's track. I have mine on top, and I have it mixed with the intro, which I wouldn't do now. But the takeaway is the process that I would do for my own audio and cleaning it up is the same as what I would do with Matt's. So what I'm going to go in and do is just show you how I'd clean out the background noise of mine. Then I would probably apply those same steps to Matt's, and then I would mix them together, and then I would clean out all the mouth noises and do any spot healing that needs to be done. That would be my workflow now. Clearly, that's not what I did for this. But, you know, you live and you learn and you move on, hopefully. Let's get started by actually going into my audio track, what I actually recorded, the full thing that was unedited. You can do that by just double clicking on the file there. And let's go ahead and try and find some background noise here without any speaking over it. So let's take a listen. Yeah, we found a good spot there. All right, let's zoom back in on that and let's highlight it. So you have a few options when trying to edit and get rid of that background noise. And it all starts by going up to effects and then going to noise restoration reduction. And I usually do noise reduction process. So let's just try this. We got to capture the noise print. My presets, I put noise reduction around 60%, reduced by about 16 decibels. And then you can just sample that. It's a little bit better. Try and select all of it after the sample's okay. Let's hit apply. And while that processes, all right, it's done processing. So let's take a listen to that sample. Still a lot of background noise. Don't love that it did that. So let's try something a little bit heavier. Went ahead and undid what I did. So let's go back into noise reduction and restoration. And let's go to, let's see, we've got adaptive noise reduction. And let's go ahead and try, let's listen to what it sounds like with light noise reduction. It does sound better. It took a second to actually process it, but let's try the light noise reduction.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, that does sound better. All right.
Well, I was in
Stop
New
it, and let's apply. And as it processes, I'll tell you a joke. All right, now that it's done processing, and you can already tell, you can already look down here and see all the difference that's gone. Let's take a listen. Oh, so much better. So much better. All right, let's zoom out. Let's go to an area with a lot of voice.
2, 1. Good news. The moon still remains.
Oh yeah, I mean, look how easy that is. Just the adaptive noise reduction. Again, like I normally do the noise reduction process. That tends to give me a little bit more control with what I do, and it tends to be simpler for me having that control. But the adaptive noise reduction really is what worked there. Let's go through and actually try something a little bit more. You can hear a little bit of echo.
Seniors for anyone.
It's a little bit echoey. Let's try and dampen that echo down and get rid of some more of that excess noise. Let's see. Go into noise reduction, restoration, DeReverb. Let's sample that.
Going. Hopefully that works.
The nice part about all these things is you can toggle the settings on and off. So here with it off,
Why?
here with it on, you get that little bit of extra amount out. Might boost this up
All right.
a little bit more.
This is the best we'll get from me.
All right, let's apply that DeReverb. I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna be one of the shorter and easier videos to make. All right.
Has arrived, and you are listening.
Oh man, already so much better. So much better. The last thing I will do to help make this sound just that much richer, that much more professional, is I have a standard EQ voiceover preset that I have in my effects racks. It applies some compressions that'll help reduce that last wave. And this, again, is something that I can do for you if you end up hiring me, or if you want more details. I may make a future video on my presets, which if you really want, please let me know by commenting down below. But I'll go in here. Let's go to standard VO. I've got graphic equalizer. You can see them all. I don't need to read them off. And let's just listen to how that sounds.
Listening to a podcast. My name is.
Sounds a little sharp. Let's try and go in and change the EQ of it. Let's move those mids over.
Karnik Fiachin, spelled Kwicien. I am in London under a cover with 3 microphones trying to bring this to you, so bear with me on the recording. But with me, as always, from substantially further away, back once again in our.
Just pulling over some of the settings I have here. Let's listen to it one more time.
College town of Eugene, Oregon, is the avocado to my toast.
Sounds pretty good. Let's listen to it with it off.
Matt Gady.
Listen to it with it on.
Hello and welcome back, Matt.
I was waiting for him to respond, but they're in 2 different tapes. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll apply that effect rack overall. And what that's going to do is just, help with that EQ a bit. Get rid of that last little hiss. You could hear a little bit of hiss at the end of what I'm speaking, but what's really important here is even though you hear that little hiss kind of at the end of when I'm speaking, you can't, it's a value trade, right? The more time you spend on trying to get this right, the less time you spend on other things. Remember though, the quickest way to get a good sounding podcast is getting a good clean recording. If I had, a little bit better of awareness of my surroundings, probably got a little bit closer to that microphone, and then had just this small skill set of tools, then I would have a pretty good podcast. But you live and you learn, as I said earlier. So before we go, the last thing we will do is we're going to compare those sounds. Here's the beginning of the other podcast.
It's spelled Kwiecien.
Yeah.
I am in.
And now let's go through and listen to what I just edited.
Rain's out there, the rain has arrived, and you are listening to a podcast.
It's not perfect, still a little echoey, but oh boy, is that a whole lot better and a whole lot easier to listen to. All right, that podcast is far from perfect, but it is so much better in just a few easy steps. DeReverb and then the adaptive noise reduction, or if your podcast, will handle it getting the noise reduction process, which I find to be more helpful, just not in this scenario with this particular podcast that I was demonstrating on. And of course, there's more that can be done, but that's the quickest way for you to get your audio to that next level by reducing background noise. If you like this video and found it helpful, please do like it and subscribe to this channel, turn on the notifications. And as I said, if you want me to demonstrate with your podcast how I would increase the sound quality and get you to that next level, connect with me on social media. I'd be happy to demonstrate with your podcast on my channel. Other than that, if you're looking for an audio editor to hire, connect with me on social media and my website. All in all, though, happy podcasting, everyone.